Yes, here we go. We've got a man who's living the dream, Gary Mackay-Steven. How you doing, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good. You're looking tremendous, by the way.
Thanks, yeah.
By the way, I'm absolutely raging. Seen you on Sky Sports, you've got the shirt and tie and you turn up like that today.
No, sorry, mate.
I thought you had
late
it,
as well. I know, apologies, sorry. It was too early start for me.
That's the way we do it here. By the way, I must say as well, the Barnett's looking tremendous.
Thank you, yeah, happy with it.
Canada,
yeah.
none of your Turkish shite, Canada, mate.
None of my Turkish shite. The rest of the boys went and got a freebie and that. No, you need to do it right if you're going to do it.
Right, New York, living the dream, man. How is it? Do you stay in Manhattan?
I stay just north of Manhattan, but you know, the view from my apartment, I live in a big apartment, and yeah, it's just kind of the skyline out my sitting room window of like, geez, all the sides. I can see the Empire State, the Chrysler Building, like everything. It's just a panoramic view down the Hudson. So it's not bad. It's class.
How is the Hudson you've been in?
Not yet. It's maybe to come. It looks. Maybe one day, but no, I'll get to that.
No, we're going to get to that now because that needs to be my first question. Now, somebody told me that you jumped in the River Kelvin because Paul the Tim was chasing you for a selfie. Is that true?
I did jump in it off my own back, but it wasn't because of Paul the Tim. But
what happened?
What a night, by the way.
Steaming?
Steaming, yeah. Steaming, but no, it's just, do you want the full story?
Go for it, come on.
That'll be the full interview.
Sanctuary.
We'd played a game against Partick Thistle for Aberdeen away.
That is enough to make you jump in the River Kelvin. Thistle away, dearie me.
I actually didn't play, which is maybe a good thing for later. I had the energy. We didn't play, but the boys won, like good night, and I had like a flat party after arranged back. I had a flat in the West End. So like a few of the boys from the team came back, and I had a lot of friends, you've got a lot of friends, alright, yeah. A lot of people were there. It was a big party, a great night. Drinks were flowing. There was some punch. I made a punch, and it was like rocket fuel. It was everyone was having a good time, but it was a laugh. But anyway, we had a place in Sanctuary table, the club in the West End, and went, and then the night was continuing. I was having a good time, and I remember being in Sanctuary and going to the bar to get another round of drinks, and just at the bar, just about to order, I can't remember, whatever, Jaeger bombs, whatever, and just this hook came round and hit me in the side of the head. But it was one of them through a crowd of people, like it hit me, but it wasn't like, so I turned round and then there was a big kind of scuffle on my lee, but I had like with friends, so there was loads of people, so it wasn't like a big fight, but the bouncer or one of the security guys, actually a guy who kind of sorted out my table, and like I knew him, was kind of just got me out of the way. Was like, oh no, like for my own good really, because obviously like I wouldn't have had much chance in a fight anyway, but it didn't look good fighting stuff, so it was like, no, get out. And like me and a few other boys and my girlfriend, like loads of us got thrown out the back door just because like you need to get out of here kind of thing. And having been a great night, I was raging. I was like, the hell, I'm getting thrown out for blah blah blah. But it was for my own good, obviously. Like it was late anyway. So anyway, I'm out the back door, and like we're just kind of like thinking, geez, how did the night turn? Like just thrown out like that over nothing, like wasn't our fault, blah blah blah. But I just walked across the street and kind of jumped this wall. It was like new. I'd never been out the back door, obviously, and it was
the back door for. You've been to a few back doors, but not that sort of one.
Not that back door in Sanctuary, and it's just like I leapt over the wall. It was the first one, and like I fell a bit and just landed in the river. And obviously, like I had a few drinks, had a good fill, but wasn't like as soon as I got in the river, I was like sobered straight up, like, and just being like, Jesus, I'm in the fucking river. Like, how can the night go from being a laugh to being fucking in the river? But anyway, it wasn't like, it was up to my I want to say my waist. Yeah, it was my waist. But it was a laugh at that point.
Yeah.
I was still talking to my mates, and I actually took my top off then and was like it was a laugh. But I slipped. It was really slippy on like all these stones and that. And I just remember trying to move. I slipped back. And then I like obviously went further into the river, and these rapids just caught me.
Wow.
And yeah, went shooting down the river. And it was one of them where I was like, but still in my head, or I can remember it so clear. It wasn't like, oh Jesus, I'm in the river. Fuck, like I'm getting swept down the river. I remember getting swept under like a bridge, and these rapids, I remember like swept down, but my feet were like kind of in front of me like this. And like, I was like this, and I was going under, like it was fast flowing. But I remember in my head thinking, like kind of still laughing about it, like thinking, Jesus Christ, like I was in the river, that's one thing, now I'm getting
From away.
And the sides like were, I remember looking, thinking, fuck, I need to, like, I have no idea where I am now, I'm like getting taken away, and the sides were like, you couldn't get out of the sides if you know, so I was like, well, I need to keep in here till I find a place where, you know, I can get myself out. And yeah, so
Did you have a piss in the river?
Did I what?
Did you have a piss?
I don't remember.
It was the other thing that came in,
There's
wasn't
enough of that piss in there. Anyway, yeah, I was down the river, and obviously my mates like seen me like get like laugh and think, guys, get out the fucking river, like to start with. And I was like, that's when it was a joke. But when they saw me getting swept away, then obviously it got serious for them, because they're thinking, like, it just like saw me, and it was like being in River Rapids at like a water park or something.
So did you need to go to the hospital?
I did have to go to the hospital.
Did you not wake up and think you were at a golf course?
Aye, so yeah, I got swept down. I was in there for 50 minutes.
50?
50, aye, because I remember stopping.
That's longer than you usually play. Really, half time, aren't you?
Longer than my warm-up at Partick earlier. I think it was due I didn't play, I probably had the energy. But anyway, 50 minutes, I remember getting stopped at a place. Not the side, but I was like kind of on all fours. And then I remember a police boat kind of plucking me out. Because I think possibly Stu Armstrong was one of the mates. Well, there's a lot of my mates, but I think he phoned, obviously, like if I saw someone go, I'd go straight in after them. Stu, I don't think wanted to get his Russell and Bromley's wet.
Loafers wet.
Yeah, he didn't want to get his. So, but yeah, for them, they saw me thinking the worst. Like they phoned, and all the like emergency services came out. Like it was kind of a big thing. But yeah, the police boat came, plucked me out, and I went to the hospital because I did have mild hypothermia.
Wow.
So I remember being in the hospital, and like even in my head, I'm thinking, Jesus, like this is ridiculous. Like I'm not like worried or thinking, oh my God, this is so dangerous. It was a laugh. Like and for me, like for my friends and all that, like I kind of feel I can see their point of view now. Like it was a worse night because they had to go and give statements to the police, and
really?
It was like a couple hours before they knew I was in the hospital and like being found or plucked out, fished out, and but yeah, I'm in the hospital, so I'm on a drip, blah blah blah, and this is like I don't know what time, like must have been 6, 7 in the morning. I'm like warmed up and I'm in a bed, I'm all cozy, I'm on like all these drips, and by this point my girlfriend's in the room, like in the ward, like with me in the corner. But she's not allowed to tell me anything because I've got to like work out for myself. Like in order for me to have been like released from the hospital, I needed to like kind of show I was fine.
Oh, that you knew what was happening, right?
So I remember the nurse, and this is what I remember so clearly. The nurse came in about 6 or 7, like oh, we can, like all the checks are good, blah blah blah. You're all like warmed up now. You can go. You just need to like tell me where you are. And I remember like just going, yeah, the golf course. And the nurse was like, no, look around you. You're not at the golf course. Look around. So I remember like I had the duvet right up here, and I had like tinfoil under like totally to warm up. Anyway, I'm looking around, see my bag, see monitors, like wires, like a hotel ward, like a big ward. Like I remember, like grey, thinking, I'm like, yeah, the golf course. And she's like, oh no, you're not at the golf course. I'll come back. I'll give you half an hour. Just take your time, look around and all that. And so she goes out, and like my girlfriend's like, Dory, look around you. You're not at the golf course.
Right.
But she couldn't say too much in rage, and she's had the worst night. Like, just wanting home. And I'm like, what are you on about? Like, the nurse is at it. Like, I'm like totally looking around, can see all my ward. Like, remember this so vividly. I'm like, this is bizarre. Like, I want home now as well, because I'm at the golf course. Anyway, like half an hour passes, nurse comes back and it's like, oh, how are you feeling now? I'm like, yeah, good. She's like, yeah, right, where are you? And I'm like, bear in mind, I've been at Aberdeen by this point about a couple of months.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, do you know where you are yet? I'm like, yep, Union Street.
No, you know.
Union Street in Aberdeen, the main street. She's like, no, you're not at Union Street. And I went, I know, I'm at the fucking golf course.
That's decent there.
So, but in my head, like, as well. So again, it went in for a little bit, and I think I must have, like, I don't remember coming round, like, because I didn't say I was at the hospital, but I got let out shortly after, and I remember getting home into my flat. Like, this is obviously the next day. I feel brand new, no hangover because of the drip and all that. And a lot of my mates were staying at my flat. Obviously, I was with my missus at that time, like, came into the flat, and I'm bound down, like, kind of want to go for breakfast. I'm like, what a night that was. Like, I'd say, Jesus, imagine that came out in the press. Nightmare. And it wasn't that night. Like, that night, it was Sunday night, like, an article came out, but didn't name it. It was like, man
jumps in the River Kelvin.
Yeah, man jumps in the Kelvin. Didn't name me. I was like, it's not too bad. It's all right. Like, get away with that. And then the next day, the Monday,
It's massive, wasn't it?
it blew up something serious. But it was international break, so it was like we had a week off. So, and obviously I had no phone. My phone was kaput. Aye, and yeah, it was a bit crazy then.
The boys putting pictures of the in-betweeners in the canoe, putting your head.
Yeah, when I got to Aberdeen, there was all sorts. To this day, like, and then, yeah, there's a picture of them betweeners when they're in the canoe, and Stu was the guy, like, I'm in the back with a towel on with my face, and Stu's at the front raging. It was hilarious.
Tremendous. Right, on the Kendall Jenner at Dior theme, Thurso. How remote is Thurso, man? Somebody told me it's just 5 guys. You just got 5 guys.
Doesn't have 5 guys.
No, there's only 5 guys that actually Is it just like, is it strange place?
Like, people think like I have like sheep in my garden and stuff like that. It's actually bigger than you think. It's a little town. It's not huge, but you know, like Dingwall or something like that. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's got a little bit to it. There's towns in a little town centre, but
was it hard to judge like how good a footballer you were because you were playing against Juchters?
Juchters were good.
Was it a good standard?
What? Well, yeah. Honestly, like, I think, like, I was lucky with my age group, my year in school and all that. Like, a lot of guys, like, that's all you did. I think the good thing about Thurso, I mean, you were just playing football all the time, because there was, I mean, I don't remember having like a PlayStation, you know, like stuff to keep you indoors and that. Like, it was just always out, like, playing with a ball. And yeah, there was a few tutors, but my cousins are farmers, and they're good players, you know, good players, obviously. Yeah, so our school team was really good. Like, used to like travel about, and like, yeah, it was a good standard up there. And a lot of football teams, there's local teams, but you got White Academy then as you get older, Highland League. But no.
So what team did you support growing up?
I was a high B growing up.
Oh yeah, Hibs fan.
I was a high B, aye.
What about heroes? Who was your heroes?
Heroes, I liked watching Russell Latby.
Oh, what a player.
He was
Proper
quality,
player.
yeah. But apart from that, I remember my first football memory was like 98 World Cup, Brazil, Scotland, and Ronaldo, obviously, and Ronaldinho later on. But I mind, like, it wasn't so much, I say it was a high beat. I mind watching teletext one day, and this is my, like, what I can remember, teletext, and yeah, that's
That
how
was
you
like
used
match of
to
the day in
check.
Thurso, wasn't it? Teletext.
That was as good as it got for us. Hibs 6 and it was Stenhousemuir randomly 2, and I remember looking at that thinking, geez, Hibs, Hibernian, they must be a team. And that's, like, must have been a cup game or something like that. And yeah, it was a high B, and to this day my email address has
I wondered why it was
contains the
that.
words high B's, which is a little bit embarrassing, but it's kind of gone too far now, so
Brilliant.
just keep it.
And then Ross County. So did they have a farmer that was a scout or something? How did Ross County see you?
See, small-minded people, farmers. Honestly, the town. Get yourself to Thurso.
Oh, there you go.
What a night. Yeah, it was like Caithness United was the county. Used to, like, the best, like, kind of players in the county. Like, because there's a lot of people, or I want to say there was a lot of people when I was growing up. So the best county, and they used to play. We used to have games against Inverness Cali County. So it was through, like, even when you're young, I remember it must have been under 14s, and that's, you know, played against County, and then I went down to County for a trial, and yeah, signed for County.
Were you always a wee tracky winger? No tracky backy?
Yeah, for my school team, I was a centre mid for long enough.
Never a centre mid.
Never a centre mid. I know, and I remember, like, playing a school game, and, like, there was, like, word like I was going to be put on the wing, and I was, like, I remember just a walk before, like, the game, like, around the school or whatever. Man said to me, it's like, I'm not a winger. Like, what's he? Like, the coach, Ian Adamson, his name was. He was our football coach. He was. I was like, why is he playing me on the wing? Like, I'm not a winger. Like, hate the wing. I'm a centre mid. And he overheard it, and he would, like, pull me, and he's like, no, I just feel like play on the wing this game. Like, you like to dribble, and I was like, oh yeah, no problem.
Shout back.
And yeah, from that day forward, I was a
So
winger.
we've got Ian Adamson to thank for it.
Ian Adamson
It's changed your life.
converted me from a centre mid, thinking I could do it all, spraying it about, dribbling, to a winger where, yeah.
Okay. How soon after joining County did Liverpool come in for you? That must have been so surreal, man.
I remember playing for Scotland over, like, we had games in Germany, and that, I think just, not like a tournament or that, just like qualifiers or whatever. And yeah, the interest came in from Liverpool, but I think it was from that. And at Liverpool, obviously, Ross County, you played in the Youth Cup. And I remember quite often we'd play games and there'd be, like, a lot of scouts. And yeah, just went down to Liverpool for a trial, a week. And
Was it Melwood?
it was the academy I went, because back then it was 18s, up to 18s trained at the academy, and it was for the 18s, and then later on it was Melwood for the reserves. And
How was the standard in there? Is there anyone that kind of came about the youth team at the same time that would know?
yeah, there's a few. That's Jay Spearing.
Yeah, Jay Spearing, remember him,
yeah.
wee bulldog, terrible face. Isn't he?
Scouser, proper Scousers to come. Ryan Flynn, who's actually up here, he, like, was in the same Liverpool team. He went to Sheffield United for a lot of years, and now he's back up the road here at St Mirren.
Yeah.
Martin Kelly was in the team.
Palace.
He's at Crystal Palace now. So there's a few boys dotted around, a few boys that made first team appearances and kind of in and around, but, like, there's a lot of boys still playing, but kind of lower leagues.
Not all the lower leagues, mate.
The lower leagues, yeah. They're tougher at times.
Did you get much dealings with the first team? Would you clean boots and that, didn't you?
No, I didn't clean boots. So 18s, I spent a year there, and then I went up to the reserves. In the reserves, it was just first team reserves at Melwood, because Melwood's quite small.
Right.
And then, yeah, you were in around the first team then, and, like, would train with them on the odd occasion. And at that time it was, you know, they'd just been in the final of the Champions League. They won it in 2005, but they'd been in the final again against AC Milan. So it's, like, proper, like on top of Europe kind of thing, all the guys.
Yeah. Did you make anyone?
I don't remember megging anyone in the... Nah, I do remember training and, like, thinking, like, being buzzing, like, after coming in and being like, oh, I've done all right there, like, done all right. Like, there's a few times you'd train, and it was cool being around them boys, especially at that time, because you're like...
Who was the best? Gerrard.
Gerrard was, like, I mean, people say it, but he literally was. You had even like your Torres was on fire.
Wow, was Torres there?
Torres was like with just anything, but it was the service Gerrard was providing, I think. But Torres was on fire. Xabi Alonso was there with Gerrard. Mascherano was like, you could literally go around the team, and it was just Pepe Reina and goals. It was superstars. And all of these guys, Gerrard, like even for them, Gerrard, I think they would all say Gerrard was the top man because he could just do everything, like attack, defend. Didn't really have a
How was he
weakness.
with like yourself and young boys, isn't it?
Gerrard and like Jamie Carragher, obviously I'd seen they were maybe been there so long, like they were great with us, like so good. Or maybe the British boys, because there was a lot of Spanish influence then, and Rafa Benitez he had a lot of Spanish coaches, and obviously Torres, Alonso, like a lot of Spanish speaking people. So they'd smile and say hello in the passing, but Gerrard would like take time and like speak to you, and so he was just top man always.
What about any arseholes?
Pepe Reina was a bit, and Mascherano just didn't speak. He wasn't so much he was an arsehole, he was, because he just used to walk past and like you'd go, oh, all right, and he'd just look forward. Like you're just like, and even like a little thing when you're kind of a young boy, and like that is amazing. I remember being in the gym and Torres was doing sit-ups and I was going in to do core, and it must have been after because it was just us. And like even just like pull up my mat, like not too close, but like was doing like planks and that, and like he was using like a weight, and then after he was like, you want this weight? And I was like, oh yeah, I'll take that. And just like that little bit of interaction, but after you're like, Torres, like, it was amazing. Because he used to love his haircuts. He used to like, his hair always was tremendous. But like little interactions, and Mascherano, Pepe Reina was
just blank
a prick as well.
Was like, prick, what can you?
I mind one time someone parked in his space. Like the first team had spaces, but sometimes like say if you're like you would just like you'd come in and train with the first team, like it kind of, you didn't have an allocation of space, you just like kind of parked near the door, and that was it. But obviously one day, I think it was Craig Linfield or someone like that, a striker in our team, he'd parked in Pepe Reina's space, and like just like before training we're getting ready, and it was only like the first team and the ones who'd been called in to train this day, like there was only maybe 4 or 5 people. And obviously Craig Linfield didn't know he'd parked in the space, but Pepe Reina just barged in our reserve changing room and went, who the fuck's in my parking space? And all that. And there's like the car park's huge, like and like
somewhere else,
and Craig, like he had like a wee Megane or something, and he was like just caning his Megane, and he was like, who the fuck's in that shitey Megane? And obviously it's Lenny, mate. The guy had to go out and like, but you're just like, he parked somewhere else, but he like came for his car, like but he was
that's amazing. So I know you never played for the first team, but somebody told me that in Thurso the reception's that bad on match of the day that I actually thought you were Dirk Kuyt for 5 minutes.
I had Dirk Kuyt's haircut for a bit to move.
He was terrible.
I looked more like Colin Hendry with it.
See, just last question on Liverpool. Was there any top players that we think are top players that actually weren't that good? Or were they all top?
No, they weren't all top. Who would I say? Dirk Kuyt.
Was Dirk Kuyt average? He was a fullback playing up front, mate, wasn't he? Just tackled people.
He like a lot of the boys I mentioned were like, you could see like world class, and then there was like Dirk Kuyt. No, he was good. I wouldn't say he was terrible, but he played against Man U and stuff, and he'd score hat tricks in that, and you'd kind of be like, how? Like, one of these players, like, just, like, how are you, like, playing for the first team, playing in Champions Leagues, like, you know what I mean? Like, just, you look and being, there's a lot, like, everywhere you go, there's players, and even training with them, sometimes you're like, you're not that good, but...
So why did you leave Liverpool? Was it injuries that kind of stopped you from kicking on?
I had a strange injury my last year at Liverpool. I had a stress fracture to my pubic bone, which is a very strange injury. How did you get a stress fracture then, that young man? It was basically, it's not a common injury amongst footballers. It's more marathon runner, seemingly, like this is what I got told after, because the second year I came back, done a pre-season with the under-18s, so done that, and then got told you're moving up to the reserves. So, and the reserves were coming in after the under-18, so I kind of came out and done another pre-season with the reserves, and obviously pre-season is like the most intense time of the year. And I think that's what like brought it on. Obviously it's the type of injury you get from overworking or something like that. And obviously like you're still kind of growing, I think. So, but even being at a club like Liverpool, it was just, I felt a little pain doing these drills. And like normally if it was anywhere else, I'd probably like not have kind of gotten to the bottom of it. But the physio was like, you all right? And I was like, I just got pain there. And obviously at a club like that, you get sent away for scans like anything. And it came back like a stress fracture there, which was kind of like curtailed things, yeah.
Nightmare. And you ended up back in Thurso working in a pub?
Yeah. Long story short, I'd come back from rehab, I'd keep training and it just wouldn't be right. So obviously my contract ran out and I went to Fulham for a bit but training, but I was never right with my hip. Like I could train, but then it would throb at night and like it was just not in a good way. And I kept in contact with the doctor at Liverpool who's actually at Rangers now, funnily enough, Mark Waller, great guy, like, but he kind of was guiding me kind of thing, like just like you've not taken a sustained period of rest kind of thing, you've always tried to come back and like overworked, like just, I think you need a break and all that. So that's why I went up to Thurso and just completely took my mind off football and done a few shifts here and there in a bar. Yeah.
Did the locals bombard you with questions about Liverpool in there?
Yeah, when the night got like, like later on and they had a few drinks, there was a lot of that, like, oh, what are you doing up there, mate? Like, you could have made it, you're down there and now you're up here. And yeah, a lot of that, to be honest, when they were...
But you went on trial at Motherwell as well, didn't you? Stuart McCall never turned up?
No, I never turned up.
Oh, what happened?
How do you know that?
I know every don't worry about it.
That Reynolds again.
This was Ryan Dowett told me this actually.
Really? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I never turned up. Well, it was one of them, like, it was, I think, before I went up the road. Yeah, so I was still like my hip would come on and then like, it would just be at nights after I'd done a session. So if it didn't, I'd feel all right, but then I would train and sometimes it would flare up. But anyway, I was in between, I was coming and got the chance to go into Motherwell. And I remember like, I'd based myself, my sister lived in Edinburgh, so I'd come up there and I was like, this was when I was made my way back up the road. And it was like, be here, like great opportunity, like to go, but for whatever reason, I turned up early at Fir Park and it was Baltic, it was freezing and I was just, that was the only point where I'd been at Liverpool and that, and I was just like, I'm not doing this. Just like,
well, so, like, I'm going to chuck it.
Not chuck it, just like, not today, like, I can't be arsed today. And I drove, just like, I was in the car, but I was so early, there were a few boys like passing me. I was in my car, like kind of with the heaters on and that, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this. So I just drove back to my sister's.
In Thurso?
No, in Edinburgh, right. And then, but to Thurso, yeah.
How did you go to Airdrie?
Yeah, so I was there.
Was it part-time?
Part-time. So I'd spent a time in Thurso doing nothing, but like I'd never had that, like even when you're in a club, you're doing rehab, you're doing certain like strengthening other muscles and your hip, seeing it so central, like you're always using it. And this type of injury, so that was the first time I'd done completely nothing, like a lot of sitting about, like pulling pints, but that wasn't so much.
Instead of pulling that,
Instead of pulling other stuff. Airdrie, like I still kept in contact with my agent. My agent was great, mate. He was just like, look, yeah, you've not done that, so do that. And then when it's time, give me a shout. And Airdrie for Jimmy Boyle was the first one. And again, I could go base myself in Edinburgh and go through to Airdrie, and that's how that came about.
Well, somebody told me when you were at Airdrie, you're a fat tatty, is that right? Had you put the weight on a bit?
No, just the weight goes to my cheeks. My cheeks, I wasn't too big. No, I wouldn't say that, but maybe I wasn't my fighting weight to start with.
How was Jimmy Boyle? Because he can go if he's not Jimmy Boyle, can't he?
Yeah, he can. He was Yeah, sometimes it was just, there was games in that leagues that was, sometimes didn't go our way. The ball was always in the air and days he'd be raging at us, but great for me. Like, it was unbelievable. Like got in training and just kind of got my levels up, played games, and it was a great time. Enjoyed it, loved it.
Did you know quite early I'm too good for this level? No disrespect to the boys, but you must have.
No, I always had belief in myself. Even like when I was out of the game, like when it was up in Thurso, like people, like you said, when people was in the bar, like, what are you doing? You're just up here. Like, what are you doing with your life? I kind of knew, like, if my body allowed, like, I'd climb back up the ladder, no problem, because I knew what I could do. And like, if I was fit and feeling good, I can do well. So it was just kind of showcasing that, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm here now, I'm too good for this. Not at all. I loved it. Like, games were tough. Like, in that leagues is like, it's not all football. So it was just a good time. And yeah. And
then Dundee United, big club Dundee United. Was there a wee buzz there when you heard that they were watching you and wanted to take you?
Yeah. Just because they had history with young boys and always like good players breaking through, and big club. And so I went, like, obviously Airdrie was part-time, and I just would train with Dundee United sometimes.
Oh, would you, right?
Yeah.
Who sorted that?
Peter Houston. It was Gaz Kirk, Gary Kirk. He was last at Hearts. I don't think he's at Hearts now, but he was like the assistant to Peter Houston, and he was the one that would come and watch me, and invited me, like, just because he knew I was part-time, and I was looking for jobs back in Edinburgh because I was putting my CV around like different gyms, because obviously, like,
so you were like, you're going to be like a personal trainer or something? Yeah,
I was putting my name in gyms and that, just because not to be a personal trainer, well, yeah, but just to kind of be in and around a gym so I could keep fit to ultimately, I knew, like, I'd get back into football, if you know what I mean. It was all probably just to kind of get myself back in, yeah.
And when you went to United, first impressions of that dressing room?
Well, first impressions wasn't even the dressing room. It was like the night before, so I'd gotten my digs, and it was the night before.
Perth Road?
No, City Quay.
Right, City
Quay. Nice. So I was in a flat with Barry Douglas, Basher. I won't say Barry because I can't say words like that. Basher, Keith, Danny Swanson, and then across from us was your Johnny Russell, Scotty Allen, Ross. So anyway, we're in digs, but I remember being like, the boys were, first day of training, like, was the next day, and they were like, you want to go to KFC? And I was like, yeah, great. And I was like, just wanted to make an impression. Like, I'll drive you lads, I'll drive. So 5 of us went to KFC. It was me, Basher, Johnny, Keith Watson, and I think Scotty Allen came as well. If not, it was Ross Hilson, Ross
Scotty
Smith,
would have been
or Dale Hilson, possibly. So it might have been Dale Hilson or Ross Smith. Anyway, 5 of us, full car, went to the drive-through at KFC on the bypass. Kingsway, aye. KFC, like, so all got our order in at the drive-through at KFC, and they're like, guys, drive away. And I'm like, or putting it, because I'm the one like saying, oh, order like zinger, bargain bucket, Johnny had an absolute feast, blah, blah, blah. And, like, it came to like 62 quid, and they're like, he won't drive away, scared to drive away. And honestly, it's my first, like, I'm just trying to make friends at this point. And like, so the poor girl on the thing's like, yeah, is that everything? I'm like, oh, can I get some more sweet chilies and barbecue sauce, please? She just turns her back for a second, like, straight away, fly out KFC. And the hilarity in the car, like, laughing their heads off. Even me, I'm like laughing my head off. And like, we get back to the flat and like, we're eating this absolute feast. Like, everyone sorted out. We even got like the boys that like didn't come. So Scotty Allen probably got an order anyway, like eating it. And then like slowly dawned on me, like, fuck, that was my Audi. Like, that was my car. I'm like, I would have been caught on camera. So the next day at training, like, I'm shiting myself. Everyone's like buzzing first day, and in the back of my head, I'm shiting myself thinking, I've just like, for sure, one of these days the cops is going to come and like
That's the worst,
be
isn't it?
like so.
Did it come out now?
None came of it. No.
KFC video, 62 quid on you. What about dressing room over the years? Johnny Russell's has been on and said that Dundee United dressing room that you had over the years was one of the maddest. You had Michael Gardyne, Gavin Gunn, and any other stories that stand out for you?
It's hard. I mean, Johnny, like with Midge, jeez, there was idiots everywhere. Like, I mean, like when I first went, it was Goody who was a fool.
The Goody's nuts.
Johnny, but then as it came, like Midge came in with Mark Miller. So you imagine them two, like just the loudest guys ever. I mean, stories have been told that darts was. Like, we came out the showers, like a dart would just like be that far away from your toes. Like just random stuff every time. Gav Gunnan was another one who was just maybe on a Christmas night out and Gav and like fancy dress on the Sunday, like everyone, like, you know, you buy each other outfits or you dress, like it's a big thing. You need to like make an effort. We go down the Sunday, everyone's dressed up. Gav Guns comes down in his normal outfit, like his normal gear. And we're all like, that's not allowed, like that's so fine, like everyone raging at him, like what are you doing, mate? Like you can't turn up to a Christmas, like you've got to do something. He's like, what lads, what do you want me to do? What? Grabs a pint glass, pisses in it, like all the way pretty much to the top, like a good half pint anyway, like it looks like Fanta, like just necks it there and then.
Oh, what a guy.
Necks it all the way down and goes to that. What else do you want me to do more time? Or like these guys take things
Could you believe it that boys are like that?
Not
like, see you and Stuart Armstrong, obviously quieter ones, but about you is like, what did you
we do a
think
bit,
of it?
but we do like little things, but not like these guys were next level, like showers and all that. It was just a riot, which was unbelievable for the dressing room. And these guys are hilarious and just like a normal football changing room's funny. Like you train, it's a laugh. Like you come in, like the Dundee United one was, you'd come in and you just wouldn't know what was coming. Like, and it was absolutely brilliant.
But see, like you say, they were screwballs, but some quality in that team, eh?
Aye, screwballs, but a lot
was
of them.
training a good standard?
Yeah, brilliant. Aye.
Who impressed you at Dundee United the most? Was Gold and that coming through as well?
Yeah, Goldie was unbelievable. Yeah, Goldie, John Suter and Andy were coming through, and like three of them were young boys, like brilliant, like. But Goldie especially, like Andy was superb as well, like so consistent.
So what set Andy Robertson aside for Ryan Gold?
I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of luck in football.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying Andy's luck. He deserves everything he's getting. He's the best fullback in the world, and it's amazing. And it doesn't surprise me one bit. But yeah, they were both at that age, at that stage, like John Suter as well, like just like so young boys, like 16, 17 coming in for the first team, like pressure environment as well, and like big games and just absolutely cruising it, and just like they were at the playground, like playing, and it was great to see in training. They got on so well. They kind of added to the changing room because obviously I think that was what made Dundee United so great. It's like loads of us were just the same age, and then them three came into the first team, but same age. I'm sure they lived together as well. Well, they did. And you're just playing with your mates. You're having a laugh with your mates and yeah, just ripping it up. And it's like Andy was so good, like so much energy. His final ball was amazing. Goldie was just like, he reminds me of Isco for Real Madrid. Yeah. Just like tiny, but so strong on the ball and just...
We're going to come to Robertson a bit, but just that first season, 36 appearances you made, how good was Peter Houston for you? I like Houston. I always have. He was my youth team manager at Scotland. Yeah. Just tells you as it is, doesn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't sugarcoat things. He was great for me. Came in and we used to play 4-4-2 then, and it was like quite often it was John Daly up front with Johnny Russell, and I was on the left wing, and yeah, it just worked. It was like started playing. Made I think my first appearance was at Ibrox away to Rangers. And just kind of kicked on from there. First start, it was at Ibrox.
What would Tuesday say? You're just going to take people on?
Yeah, totally. It's like just get on the ball, make things happen, dribble. It was out and out. Say it was 4-4-2 and left wing, just take people on all the time, and you're in the team to create and like get to the byline and cross it. So yeah, I loved it. It was.
Houston can go if he's not. You ever slot on it?
Yeah, he could. He had that in him for sure. Yeah.
You remember an incident there?
Nah, not too much. Just, quite often, like even in pre-season games, you know, we played at Cowden Beef one time. Dale Hilson, the boy who was in Johnny's flat, used to take free kicks like Ronaldo in training. He could hit the ball like Ronaldo. He's like brilliant technique, but he took a free kick. Like this was only pre-season at Cowden Beef. Ballooned it over the bar. But it was one of them iron brew balls he used to have, like flyaways. But like we thought nothing of it. 'Cause, like we knew Hilson, like he's got that in his locker. Half time, he goes, "What the fuck are you kicking the ball like that? Who do you think you are, fucking Ronaldo?" And we were like, "Fucking, you can kick it better than Ronaldo." And it just raids, and Hilson's like, "Fucking hell, I'd never took a free kick again." Like, Jesus.
Oh, I love that. During the time United, you were on Soccer AM Showboat, mate, every week. Was that a wee aim for you? Were you thinking, I'm going to get in the Showboat?
Nah,
Mate, you were on it till quite a lot, weren't you?
Yeah.
Did you plan it before it? I'm going to do somebody with that now.
No, never. I mean, I used to do like tricks and all that after training. Not so much into it. I'd never be like, "Oh, geez, plan this trick. This'll work." Used to do. I remember. Keith Watson was another one. He like out and out defender, like loved. So, but after training, we used to just like me and him used to muck around, like, and I used to do like wee tricks and try all sorts against him, and he used to try. I might have actually got him a good one time because, and this was I think later on when Jackie Mack was in. Maybe it was Peter Houston, I'm not sure. Anyway, after training, like I'd got his phone earlier because we used to drive in together, and like actually, like when he drove in, it was his tunes, but like I used to like know his code for his phone and that, so change tunes. Yeah. Anyway, that like one morning I changed Gaffer on his phone, like deleted Gaffer, changed the Gaffer's name to Gary, changed my name to Gaffer. So anyway, later on, like we're doing like normally it happened every training. Like I'd be like, "Keith, let's do that extra. Like I'll take you on, blah blah blah." Loved one-on-ones, but he was a defender. Like loved tackling. And I was like, "Do this trick," and then sometimes he'd get the ball and maybe try what I'd just tried on me. Like, you know what I mean? Just mucking around. Anyway, that afternoon we're at the. Is it the Overgate?
The Overgate.
Yeah, used to see you doing laps in there. Actually. We were having a Starbucks.
I was always with a bird, wasn't I?
Always with a bird, worldy. And yeah, so I'd had this message planned at like before, like saying, "Oh, Keith, like bear in mind the manager's office like looked out onto the training ground, cool." So it's like he thought it was Jackie Mack, and I was like, Keith, seen you after training today with Gaz. Got some nifty footwork." I can't remember how I was like, "You got some nifty footwork." And thinking like we were playing Celtic on the Saturday, it's like, "I'm thinking of moving you to right wing for the game tomorrow because you've got a bit about you." And like, but I worded it like a gaffer would word it. So I'd sent it, and like we're having Starbucks. Like Keith's over there, gets a text on the phone, and he's reading it, and I see his face going like, "What? Like what?" And I'm like, "Just don't say anything." And he's like, and like waiting for him to say, he's like, "The gaffer just texted me." I'm like, "What's the gaffer texting me for?" He's like, "See me do step overs after training today," and like thinks I could play wing against Celtic. What? And I'm like spitting out my latte. I'm like, "Really? Jesus." And I'm like bigging it up, like thinking, "Mate, you could actually, you do have a bit. You've got good feet. Like just like show people. Like Emilio Izaguirre tomorrow. Like you could. Like
you could do it, man." And
then like it went on the rest of the day. Like I'd go to the toilet, type out another message, but come back and it would be ready. And then like 10, like I'd just be like that.
So was he texting you back though?
Oh, texting me back? No, I said something like, no, he was texting me back. He's texting me back like, no, because I said, "Oh, I'll speak to you later about it on the phone." So he texts back like, "Okay." And then I had another message like just being like, yeah, I'll give you a phone later. And he came back and I had this message and like drinking coffee and then like just pressed it in my pocket. Then it tinged again. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll phone you tonight." And so he's like, "Oh, fucking, he's phoning me tonight." And I'm like, "You better start watching videos of Ribery or something on your phone. Like, get this." And like, he's proper like shiting himself all day. So,
tremendous.
Just,
see, when you were playing left wing for Dundee United, especially when you were doing the tricks, did a full back ever say to you, "Fucking stop that"? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, sometimes, just for a laugh, like don't try your shite today and all that. Yeah, but like most of the time it was just like you'd do something, or like even before you did something, you'd just get someone coming through you, whether it was taking the ball and you just like, oh. But like that just kind of made you more want to do something.
Brilliant. Peter Houston left in January 2013. Sad to see him go, but Jackie Mack comes in, obviously big name.
Yeah, it was the first time I kind of had been in that position where a manager left, and it's kind of strange with football. You're like, oh, it's going well, could completely change. So yeah, a little bit. Like I was playing, it was my first kind of time, first manager, and doing all right. So I was a little bit like, but Jackie Mack, came in. And
you buzzing when Jackie got him, because as I say, big name, eh?
Yeah, for sure. You're like wanting to like see, bring his ideas, bring Simon Donnelly in, who like big players, and they brung, like I think it was them that brung Andy Robertson, people like that. So yeah, it was an amazing time. He slightly changed the formation to, like we used to play 4-4-2 a lot. Big John Daly and Johnny like off him. It was Goody before that, but it was 4-2-3-1, and then sometimes I'd play on the right, and I'd never played on the right before that. So it was cool, like really good, and like learned a lot as well.
I was doing South at that time, and I remember watching the highlights every Monday, and some of the football that you played was...
Yeah.
What was that doing it? Was it worked on in training, or was it just go and play?
No, it really wasn't. It was just...
Off the cuff?
Yeah, we had a lot of good young players, like... And he brung Chefchi in as well, and Chefchi done unbelievable for us. Not like another head case that came in.
How is he a head case? Just loses the plot.
He loses the plot, yeah, but he's just so passionate. I mean, it was maybe his best spell under Jackie Mack, because he was like the main man. Jackie Mack like put his arm around him all the time and loved him, and like if he feels that love, you get the best at him. But what a player! Like he was amazing. Like could do everything strong, and like his thighs were just a back end. No one could get the ball from him. Skillful and fast. Had everything really.
Did you expect him to do better at Celtic?
Yeah, I just think he came in. There's a little bit more competition, and maybe like at Dundee
like you
United.
say, you're not as loved as you were at Dundee United.
Yeah, you're not coming in. You've got to like kind of earn that kind of thing. And maybe he was like at Dundee United, he knew he was like gonna play the striker.
Could he flip at Dundee United? Like if he didn't pass him the ball, or he didn't think the team was doing well, or could he go off his nut?
He could, but he was not in a like. He was a moan, but it was more like a moan. Like he would go mental, but it was like, all right, Nads, shut up. Like he wasn't like too much. No, he was a fool though. Like he was. I mind. Well, this was later on at Celtic, but he like got his couple of wage packets in at Celtic, and he's like, oh, what a watch! I want new shoes. I'm going to go down to London, like buy stuff. And it's like, all right, Nads, and like he's just a fool. Like he used to love his Louboutins. He had a few pairs, or he had one pair. He loved them, like spikes and all that. You know, right up. He could pull them off, to be fair. But anyway, he's like, I'm going to buy some lubes. So he went down to London, came back up, and came in straight, and he still had his lubes on he had before. And it's like, you not get lubes? He's like, no, well, I went to the shop. So he went to Louboutin shop in London. Bear in mind, like a pair of shoes, like 800 quid or maybe more or something. And he went in and he saw his favourite, like best pair he'd ever seen. Like I don't know, they were beautiful. He loved it. He was like, oh, they're amazing. Took them to tell, because obviously the price wasn't on them. Like they were like $5,000. So yeah, so he's like at the till, like handed his, it was like $5,000, fuck. Handed over his card, like went through with the payment and walked out the shop with it. Like he says he was sweating, like walking down the street thinking, $5,000 for shoes. Like, so he's walking about in London, and then like later on after he's like, I can't take this. He goes back to the Louboutin shop and says like, look, yeah, I can return these. I don't know what they were, like crocodile or something. And they were like, yeah, and return them, no problem. Couldn't get his cash back though. He got Louboutin vouchers, 5 grand vouchers.
Tremendous, man.
So he was like, it's like, what did you buy? He was like, I've just got fucking 5 grand of Louboutin vouchers in my wallet. Raging. So funny, man.
Oh, I love that, mate. That's brilliant. Right, just quickly on Andy Robertson. Obviously, you've spoken about him before, but was there like a game or a time that you just thought, this guy's a joke?
Yeah, most of the time he's just so consistent, but it's just so much energy, man. He like
You'd have played.
So he just used to bomb past me and like, but then get back in position. Like he'd save me. Like, but I played with him for a little bit on the left, but then I was on the right always. But no, amazing. As I say, like just so enthusiastic, training, so fast as well. See in the sprints, he was. I would say he was the quickest one. So rapid. His final ball was amazing, and he's just, unbelievable, like, professional, worked so hard, but in that position and the modern day fullback, he had everything.
You scored in the semi-final victory over Rangers at Ibrox. You must have been confident of winning the Scottish Cup, beat Rangers at Ibrox, St Johnstone at play. Talk about the Rangers game first, how good was that?
It was brilliant. Just the fact that it was at Ibrox, and we done well. We were confident going into the game. We're on a good run of form. We're like beating teams, like scoring a lot of goals, and I went to Ibrox and it was unbelievable feeling because obviously we actually had good support, like Dundee United fans behind the goal, like a lot of fans. But obviously it's Ibrox, it's like an away game, and done really well and maybe too confident in terms of like we won that, and like in the changing room after was brilliant, like and like it was St Johnstone in the final, so we kind of thought like. Maybe not. We knew it was a tough game coming up, but we're like, we're going good here. We're in a good place. So,
what went wrong then? Celtic Park, it was, wasn't it?
Celtic Park.
See, Jackie Man, the man, obviously, I know he's quite a quiet guy. Isn't he? How is he? Like in dressing rooms before games, and is he quite vocal or is it?
Nah, it's quite quiet. Like
do you like
say
that?
A piece. No. I mean, there's time and a place. I think, like, if it's not going so well and it's just all. You need someone like to kind of give you a roll again now and again, and he had his way. It was effective. Like he was like he knew what he was talking about and all that. But I don't know. It wasn't so much that we went out St Johnstone, but they were our bogey team that year. Like they
were hard to beat that year.
Like we like beat teams a lot, and then we'd play St Johnstone. They just had our number like a lot. I think we beat them once that season, but they beat us a lot of times. So. But in the final, a big park, Celtic Park, we were like confident going into it, but we were bad on the day.
How was that feeling in the dressing room after that? Obviously, your first final.
Yeah, bad, like horrible.
Did anyone say anything, or was it just quiet?
People. It was more quiet. It was more like just like, absolutely fuck this, lads. Like. I mean, like if you lose a final or going back with Dundee United, we lost like big semi-finals against Celtic that we were in, and afterwards it was gutting. Like, but at the end of the day, like it was maybe like they're a better team. Like we were in the game, but they just created that bit more chances. Like against St Johnstone, we just didn't even give ourselves a chance. I mean, Dowser, he hit the post.
Blame Dowser then.
Done really well. No, he done really well. Hit the post, but. Near miss. Chefchi Nads, he hit the bar. I was in Dave Mackay's pocket the whole game.
Dave Mackay's tough, wasn't he? Just a seasoned pro, mate.
None of us performed really. And
you still went out after it though, didn't you?
We went back to Dundee and a few of us went out, but it was. I mean, getting a bit of a taxi driver, we had a function, like, because we had it planned, like, we'd go back to Dundee and then, like, maybe, like, we had, like, stuff, like, there was an open top bus that we were going to do and all that, and maybe that was in our heads as well, and but we still went back up, had a function, and mind going back to my flat and then getting a taxi, and the taxi driver just went through me, and I was just sitting in the back there, all right, mate, Jesus, fuck, we feel it too, man.
Oh, tremendous, right, after that, you're going into the last year of your contract. Be honest, did you know you were going to leave? So that was in your mind, isn't it?
It was, because I had, like, there was interest, like,
Sheffield
long
United,
before that as well, like, but I kind of thought, like, I'd done a lot, and obviously I'd wanted to win silverware and stuff, but it was just like, yeah, I'd like a new challenge. And Chef Hugh, I never spoke to my agent, did, but he spoke to a few clubs.
Anyone else for us?
Down in South. Well, before that, not towards the end of my contract, it was Chef Hugh then, maybe more, but before there was like Swansea and like different teams before, like when I was early on in United. So it was just kind of, yes, Chef Hugh, but Celtic was bubbling away as well. And when they kind of spoke, my agent was like, right, let's do something. It was kind of like the only one place.
Who did you speak to? Who was the first person you speak to for Celtic? Ronnie Dylan?
Yeah.
You impressed him? I seen him doing Latin services and that. I thought he was quite impressive talking about football.
Yeah, no, I was impressed with him. He had a lot of good philosophies that were right and like ways to play the game. And I thought he was really good, and I enjoyed his training as well. Like for the most part, it was high intensity. What did you? I was impressed with him, certainly.
How weird was it when it was you and Stu, your mate?
Yeah.
We was keeping each other in the loop all the time.
No,
I
wasn't. Honestly, I remember it was him like keeping his cards close to his chest, like for whatever reason.
He was the killing in that.
Because I had signed a pre-contract, so it was like in January, kind of common knowledge. But it was kind of like nothing about him. And came deadline day, I remember I was in Edinburgh, and call came in like from my agent, was like, you need to, like, they want you now, it's maybe going to happen tonight, like you need to get yourself to this hospital in Edinburgh to do a medical. So I just chased there, like done, like takes a few hours to do medical, all your checks, whole body, and then it was basically getting a car and chase to Celtic Park. But before that, like earlier on, before I even knew I got that call from my agent, that was like at dinner time, like 5 or 6. And I spoke to Stu like earlier on the day, like phoned them, because it was transfer deadline day. Like you're watching on the telly, you're seeing like, and I was just like bamming him up, saying, "Oh, where are you today? Like, where are you right now?" And he wouldn't say. And I was like, "No, you're here, there." Like, because there was a few clubs like maybe interested. I was like, "You're at it, like no chance. You're, like where are you?" And he wouldn't say. Like he literally wouldn't say. It wasn't like, "Oh, it might be happening." He just was like, "Nah, I'm just wherever. I'm in Dundee." Piper Dam, he used to stay, so he's I'm Piper Dam. Blah, blah.
Of course, he stayed in Piper Dam.
Of course, yeah.
Classy guy, man.
Classy guy,
and you
yeah.
stood in the key, you scumbag.
So it wasn't like I got in the car and like it was a rush. Like I had to chase to Celtic Park, because we were cutting it fine to get everything signed, and then I mind going into Peter Lawwell's office and Stu was there at the back, and it was one of them like I didn't know, and he like. Well, maybe he knew I was. Yeah, he didn't tell me. But it was one of them, you grab it, you sort of jump away, like in Peter Lawwell's office, you kind of forget about the moment.
What
Just like, are you signing too? Like, like idiots.
Brilliant, man.
And so it was one of them. It was an unbelievable moment because it was like, oh, you're signing now, you idiot. He didn't tell, and he was. But he'd probably had it sorted earlier on in the day, but he just wasn't letting on, and whether he knew I was coming or not.
When you said cutting it fine, I thought you were talking about the old bandit a bit. That was cutting it fine, young man. Did you ever find out who was on more? You must have asked.
No, we didn't.
What?
No, we didn't. I think it was me because I'd never seen his wallet. There's moths in his wallet.
Right. See the night that you signed for Celtic, you're wedged, you're lying in your bed at night. Can you sleep now? The night of signing?
Nah, not that night. That was manic night because it was literally I want to say it was like 6 o'clock before I got the phone call to go to this hospital to do the medical, and it took ages, and then chased through to Celtic Park, and it was a whirlwind, but it was like, you're not sleeping that night. You're kind of like.
Did you and Stu go after you'd signed to celebrate food or library or something? Art gallery?
Museum. No, we didn't, or not that I remember.
What do you think Peter Lawwell was thinking when you two were jumping about his office?
Yeah, I don't know, because I just came to be there, it was like, but it was just if you see your mate, but in that situation, it kind of wasn't like, oh, you signed too, it was like, oh,
Amazing.
In his, so it was kind of.
Brilliant. How long before your debut did you know you'd be playing?
I think I knew a few days before because we were away to Dundee, but we were cup tied or something, so we had to watch that game.
Did you get abused for Dundee fans?
Yeah.
I used to get it as well, mate. I was actually playing for them.
The Derry rumba and the Dundee fans. I needed to get my hood up there. But it was a game at Dens Park and then Partick Thistle away. And yeah, I think we knew a few days before we were going to be playing because there was kind of a lot of games at that time.
And you scored first game. How much was it? Thistle?
Thistle away, yeah.
Where you were a sub and then you end up a sub there, do you mean? Right, so you scored the debut, but I remember it was a back post.
A kind of corner came in and it kind of bounced to me. I took a touch and then got my toe on it and it went in and it was.
Does that make it easier for you scoring on your debut? Because the fans took to you straight away, didn't they?
I guess, yeah. If you score any, it makes the game easier and it maybe settles the nerves you had. You just want to impress, and scoring so early was amazing and. Yeah, unbelievable feeling, and then 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later, Stu scored. So couldn't have gone better. The debut, it was, you couldn't write it kind of thing. It was just crazy, and it was absolutely brilliant. Just to
you slept in the same bed that night, didn't you? After
yeah, definitely, 100%. We only had one bed, the rest full time.
Did you move in together straight away?
Yeah, pretty much. We got a flat together straight away.
That must have killed you looking at his hair every day. Didn't it?
My hair was I used to do it well. I used to pull it straight forward. It was only if I got a bad haircut or the wind kept up, I was struggling. But,
and he was studying law at the time?
He was studying law, yeah.
So would he sit with the suit and that on at night?
He thought he was Harvey Specter. He did it, but it was... The law thing's funny. Every interview they bring, I was so clever, Stu. He just used to play on it, milk it. He didn't do it every night. He did. He used to wait. He had these blocks where he used to get in time, and something would be due, and he'd have a whole that 2 days before it. He'd batter it and all that. So he was, he was an idiot in loads of ways. I mean, getting at talking about him being clever and smart, and he is, but. And then getting a knock at the door one day and he's in his room, knock at the door and it's police. We're looking for Mr. Armstrong. That's the first thing that I heard. We're looking for Mr. Armstrong. Two police guys, big guys. But as soon as they saw, he said that, but then he obviously caught on. It was me. He's his mate was, policeman, his mate was what is that? That is there. Something like that. I was and I just burst out laughing we said Mr. Armstrong. I was what the fuck's he done? Pissing myself. And turned out he'd took petrol and just drove away. Forgot to pay for it. So he's an idiot. He's a fool. Behind closed doors, he puts on this posh accent when he does interviews. But he's Would
you ever do role play, him defending you for robbing a living or that? We just watch A Few Good Men in that. Is he pure in it?
No.
Why didn't you study anything?
I know. I just
Sports
used to
coaching.
faff about and play guitar. I used to play the guitar when he'd be studying and stuff. So yeah, I'd maybe do something at some point. But no, I just kind of chilled it.
Brilliant. Other teammates, how was that dressing room to walk into? Who were the main characters in that dressing room? Obviously Bruni.
Yeah, Bruni's welcomes you, unbelievable guy, so intense on the park, so focused, and then but away from the park and in the changing room, he's the liveliest guy there. He's just a big kid. He's gets everyone going. He's funny and brings everyone together. Unbelievable captain. Lustig, he was vocal in the changing room. He used to get things going and that. Charlie Mulgrew, when I first went, he was a fool. Just
I've been speaking to him about you as well. He said before you tell him, he says he witnessed you and Stu having the poshest argument of all time. Did Stu take a picture of you getting ice bucket or something? Fricking delete that shit.
That's true. I was fuming, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
He's an idiot. Yeah,
Did he used to wind you up about it?
He was funny. He was things. It was a different changing room to Dundee United. It was more like laughs and that, but it was kind of, there was a lot of different, there was the French, there was a lot of foreigners, French would keep themselves, and Bruni would like just be dotting around, but it was different. It wasn't like just chaos as soon as you walked in the changing room. But Charlie, yeah, he's a funny boy.
What about standard of training? Who impressed you straight away?
Yeah, standard was great. I mind going in and it's like, Dundee United was good training as well, but it was just like more, it was slightly different and more intense. Like everyone was just going a million miles an hour at all the training. And it's cliche, but Van Dijk impressed me a lot all the time, like in training, just because it was so everyone was so easy for him, like chill. And like after training, he'd like take the free kicks, like boys would be taking free kicks, and he'd just like be taking the free kicks too. And he's a centre half, and that was just like, jeez, yeah, he was.
What kind of guy is he?
Really nice guy, big chilled out guy, like just high sound as well. I mind being on the bus like before my debut at Partick Thistle, and him like just being like, look mate, just play the way you've been playing, like just so taking his time to just like say stuff like that. And great guy as well, like off the field, just big laid back guy kind of thing. He was cool.
So good, man.
Brilliant. Like it's just, he's never changed the way he plays. It's like he plays in third gear all the time, and it's just easy for him. Right,
Inter Milan. How good, man. What, I mean, like the experience, talk us through the atmosphere, the game.
Yeah, like I mean,
afterwards.
That was, so we made our debut away, and then we played St John's, I think, away too, but that was our home debut. So home debut, and randomly I had loads of Inter Milan tops when I was younger. Like I loved the blue and black stripes, and used to watch Calcio Italio on Channel 4. You ever watch that? So Italian football was big, like growing up. Like that's all we seen in Thurso. We didn't see like it was Sky, it was Channel 4, so that was good. We saw the Italian football. But loved Ronaldo, played for Inter Milan, blah blah blah. But anyway, so Inter Milan for me as well, I was like, and used to play like, I mind like a FIFA game. And you used to like get a tour of the stadium sometimes before the game. I can't remember, it was like FIFA 98 maybe or something like that. Road to World Cup. You just get a tour, but San Siro loved it, like unbelievable. So when it got drawn Inter Milan, I was like, Jesus, it's ridiculous. So game.
Mate, did Dyla do shape? Was he a big one for shape before the game? Like would you know you were playing in the game?
I knew he was playing, I think. He'd done a little bit of shape. Yeah, he did do like 11v0 and stuff like that, and so shape, he loved that.
So you're buzzing, right?
Yeah, home debut, but kind of even before, like it was, I did know because like home debut, Inter Milan, and under the lights, European game, kind of like buzzing, and yeah, that was unbelievable. Like
nerves before it.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, but more excitement. I was never one for getting nerves. Like it was the same before the debut. It was like a little bit of nerves, but as soon as you get out and like you do the warm, get a touch the ball, you're like, let's go. And obviously, like a full Celtic Park, like European night there's no better place to play your football. So yeah, it was unbelievable.
People have been on and they said when the European nights and it's that loud, you actually cannot think about anything else, or your mind just goes completely blank.
Oh, it's loud. Like you can't hear stuff. Like especially when there's like you do the huddle and then you come out the huddle and it's a roar and like, let's go. It's crazy. It's cool.
Right, talk us through the San Siro. Then you said obviously massive Inter Milan fan. How was it going to the San Siro? What a place!
Yeah, like that was for me, like because even the change room, and like I mind it vividly from the game. Like you'd go in the change room. There was a little corridor before you stepped out onto the pitch, and it was exactly the same. So San Siro, like we trained the night before there, and it was just like, whoa, brilliant! Like loved it. And yeah, the game went well though. Then Van Dijk got sent off, and I got that straight away.
Curly finger.
Fuming.
Were you fuming at?
I was fuming. Just because I was doing well in the game, like, and it was like just a great, like, we were doing well in the game. Like I think they ended up beating us 1-0, but it was like kind of good strike from the boy from the edge of the box. It was a tight game, and like we were keeping it tight, but we were creating chances as well. And like, I mean, I can see why it got done, but like just even a normal game, even if it was like anyone you're playing and a boy gets sent off and then it's your number that comes off, you're like, come on, man, no.
Would you say anything?
I didn't say I wanted to. I came in the changing room, so I went straight to the changing room. I didn't go on the bench, or was it? Yeah, no, it was half time, and I was in the changing room, and then the boys went back out and went a shower before went back out, and it was like Virgil and me and our mind just throwing my boots down, like wanting him to kind of say sorry, guys. He was just like cool as you, like chilled out, like, and I didn't want to say like be the first. I just wanted him to be like, listen, mate, sorry about that. Like, didn't say a word, and I was just like kidding, not kidding on. I was fuming, but it's like, fucking say something, mate. Cost my
you got nothing off him.
Nothing off him at all.
Oh, the big man's a hero, isn't it? He doesn't give a
Nah, he just chilled out.
See, just on that, we say that losing the ball, it's a bit more. How was the scrutiny being a Celtic player compared to a Dundee United player? See, like going about Glasgow and stuff like that. Was it no New York he's were in? Big Charlie told me that you actually chased Celtic fans to tell them that you played for it.
That came out. That was like a private joke between. Charlie loved that one. I got absolutely abused for that. I was like, "What are you doing? You're on your off season, and then you're going chasing fans. Look at you, like absolute, like no, because that's what it looked like. No leg to stand on. Like I was like, no, Charlie. It's like fucking just enjoy your holiday, mate. Fucking chill out. Like absolute. Which is true. I was like, aye, mate. But no, a Celtic fan walked past this bar. It was like a bakery. We were having a coffee, and just walked past. And like I clocked to a Celtic fan and was like, "Wow, it's mad Celtic fan." And I can't lie, I went out like, he was down the road, like went like tapped him on the shoulder and went, oh my God, you a Celtic fan? Like in a stupid American accent, and made his day. Like he was buzzing. He was like turn around and was like, oh yeah, and then he clocked. But like it came out, like it wasn't me like, wow, that's a great story. Let me tweet that out, show what a great guy I am. Like it came out and I was actually raising it. I was like, oh fuck. Because I knew the boys would just come from it. Like Bruni, like Charlie especially. Like, loved that.
Loves that, didn't he? Right, just on Ronnie Dyler. Once you'd fully bedded in it, say like you were playing some great stuff.
Yeah, we did go through times where like doing really well in that. As I say, I liked this training. I liked thought intense, and we had a good team. Like we had like big players, and so you couldn't not do well at times for sure. There was like, or even like with Van Dijk was Jason Denier, unbelievable player as well, and just top players all the way through. And yeah, it was like there was a lot of highs certainly. And
what were the lows? The diet. People that came on have said the diet was nuts.
The diet was weird, and looking back, it was all fat. Like so you used to like your pasta, your chicken, like just give you energy, and like going through all the like played a lot of football, played a lot of games, like feeling fine, knowing what's good for you, and then all of a sudden in the canteen there was just like bacon with the biggest fat, like loads of stuff where you're like, hold on a second. And even when you like those bowls of cream, I remember the cream was, he was mad on the cream, like butter, but it was just fat.
Rubbed on your ass.
Cream, but bowls of cream. So you'd have like maybe a yogurt or for dessert normally, or a few berries, let yourself go. But the cream, like, and the nutritionist in that would be in the canteen, and like I think boys would take cream and be like all over it. I love it. I'll get it. Like, and it was pure whipped cream, tasted amazing. But after it, you felt in your stomach and that. And he was like, but his thing was, fats, like your body will like use fat as energy, burn it slower than like maintain it or whatever. And carbohydrates is quick, and like, but fats is better for keep you going longer and fitter. And it got to the point though, it was almost frowned upon to have a bit of pasta, like take a spoon of Facilia and you're like getting daggers off the nutritionist. You're like,
Facilia, brilliant.
Come on.
Did it come to a head though? Like, did the boys say this is nonsense?
It come to a head, like a lot of boys would just eat what they did, but like it was the fact that you did have the stuff available, but you had this, and it was like, in your head you're thinking, well, you're at a top club, you're like, maybe like you would eat it, but then sometimes you didn't feel great. But I think your body adapts, like it would have adapted, and like, but I don't think you should change such drastic things when like it's not a big deal. It's not like boys are overweight and like you know what I mean. It was fine, and then this drastic change, and it probably did affect things.
Could Ronnie Dyler crack up?
Yeah, he could as well. He had he had it in him to crack up for sure. Just like if we would, if you even draw a game, never mind lose a game, just like. But it was funny. He'd come across like his English was good, but Brony, like fucking, like that's like a Norwegian accent. He'd rage, and sometimes he'd be trying to say a point, and like it wouldn't come across as well, and he'd be like saying to his other Norwegian, like in Norwegian, like what the fuck's that in English or something. Like, so I liked him. I thought he was.
Somebody
good.
told me a story. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Big Charlie, and Ronnie Dyler was like looking for a name for like staff, his fellow staff, and he says, "I'm the name of my other coaches," and John Collins goes, "Entourage."
I don't remember that.
John Collins interview, yeah.
John Collins was there to start with, yeah. Fine, he didn't do an awful lot. Like he would take some drills and that, but I was never in the gym or that with him.
Yeah.
It was
You
never
never seen
big
the
on that.
six-pack, yeah?
I don't know if he.
I basically want to know, did you see six pack?
I don't know if he ate bowls of cream in the canteen. I'm not sure.
Definitely not. Right, mate, you picked up your first league winners medal. Proud moment for you.
Yeah, it was good. Aye.
Did the five guys for Thurso come through? You see it?
They were in the stand. We came down the horse and cart a week before. No, really proud. It was amazing, like, because you're starting to win trophies and like
What you've came for.
just even like lifting the trophy at the Celtic Park, and then like it was amazing. It's a cool feeling, and yeah, like we came start, but we played like half that year, but got the lead. I don't know what the cut-off point with playing games, but we played a bit, and it was amazing.
There's the medal.
It's
not that amazing, is it? It's not that important to know where the medal is.
No.
Second season was easy going. Why couldn't Ronnie find that same form the first season? Was it the diet mostly?
I don't want to blame the diet, but I think, we didn't qualify for the Champions League. So we kind of huffed and puffed through the rounds, but then we played Malmo, and the first leg at Celtic Park, like playing really well. Like, Griffiths scored a double, I think, but we were like cruising, and then they scored like a late goal, or maybe two late goals, but I think it finished 4-2. But still, like, good performance, but still letting 2 goals in at home, like it should never have been. But we were still thinking, like it's the last game, we'll go there, like 2-0, like 2 goals advantage. But we went there and like never turned up. I think they beat us 2-0, went through on the way, but it could have been more, like it was one-way traffic. And I just think, like, if you don't qualify for the Champions League, there's a big come down. Like, it's early on in the year, and it's kind of what everyone wants, European football. It's what the players want. It's like the biggest thing, and my opinion, it just like was such a like low point of the season, but being so early on in the season that we took a while to even like carry that into the league, just being like feeling sorry for ourselves. And we got Europa League, but maybe if the Europa League group is maybe not as good, or like it's not the same as the Champions League. Like you can generate, like the Inter Milan was amazing, and even going to Celtic like now in the Europa League, the games are amazing. It's still a great atmosphere, but then it was Europa Leagues weren't like we're huffing and puffing through them as well, and yeah, just carried on really.
You mentioned Griffiths. I can't leave no ask. How does a conversation go with Gary Mackay-Steven, Stuart Armstrong, and Lee Griffiths?
I don't know. He owes me a pair of trainers, Griff. I might come in with a pair of Yeezys one time. Griff, honestly. Okay, like I bought, so we stayed at a hotel. I'd bought a pair of trainers, so the guy came with the trainers. Like, I mind paying like $350 for them, like a lot, but like $350, I'd never pay that now for trainers. You wouldn't pay that for trainers.
No chance.
No chance. But $350, like, so a lot of money for these like brand new Yeezys that came out. Like, buzzing with them, but just grabbed them off the guy, went up to my room, like tried them on, they're too tight, like phoned the boy, but he was away. I was like, fuck, they're too tight. So spoke to the boy, I was like, oh mate, I need it in 8.5. He was like, no problem, like I need, like, I'll come back, like, give you your size. And I was like, I'll get them off you when I see you. So like, Celtic Park, we went straight, we had a game, like I'm in Kai and this, like stupid, I had my backpack and a box of trainers, because couldn't wear them, they didn't fit me, and like got in the changing room. Griff's like, oh, what is that? It's like, oh, trainers, mate, but they don't fit me. He's like, oh, let me have a look at them. It's like, yeah, like tried them on and had them on his feet. He was like, what's like them? I'll take them off. Yeah, I was like, yeah, no problem. Just give me the money next week. Like 350. I was like, wear them, like never saw like. And honestly, I said it to him so many times, Griff, mate, fucking 350. Like I didn't let it slide. But like I got to the point where I was like, I mean, I can't ask him anymore. But like the boys would just like, if Griff ever owed a fine, like even a little fine at football, they'd be like, ah. And I would just jump in, like 350, add that as well to my fine, like, but yeah.
So, and he's wearing them in every day. He's like, 350.
But then I think it got to the point where it was like, mate, you can have them back. I don't like. I'm saying, worn them, mate. Like, give that a rest.
Oh, brilliant.
But he's a hero, a great boy.
Right, I want to talk to you about the semi-final loss to Rangers. Was there a difference in confidence?
No, we'll not talk about that. I've got to.
Was there a difference? Was it? Were you no confident going into that again?
We were, but as I say, we weren't playing amazing, and we were kind of like not doing amazing. But again, like it was a big game, and like we fancied ourselves there. It wasn't like, oh, geez, Rangers. Like we were like, but it just the game started, and it was.
Could you tell straight away it was going to be a bad day?
Yeah, really, it was like. Just, I don't know, it was just couldn't get your rhythm, like, created a few chances, but they were like up for it, and I mind them going 2-1 up. The boy, Barry Mackay, scored a great goal, and you're thinking, oh no, I think it was Tom Rogic, he did equalise and got it to penalties, but even like, if you're thinking you're 1, you're like, this is not ordained, but we didn't end up winning, we lost on penalties, and then it was horrific, like really, really bad, because I think even if we'd scraped through that though, it wouldn't have been great, because like we didn't play anywhere near what we could. Like the boys were all like didn't play well, and we ended up losing. And it was horrible in the changing room.
Was it mayhem?
Yeah, it was. Again, I want to say like there was shouting, like just like we knew we didn't perform, but there was a lot of just like shock and just being like, Jesus, that's really, really bad. And
who would be the shout? Would it be Brownie that'd be shouting?
Brownie would shout, but Chris Commons, like a lot of vocal guys in the changing room as well as the manager. And yeah, we all knew ourselves, like Stefan Johansson as well. He would say stuff, and Griff as well would say his piece, and everyone. But, you know, everyone knew, like, I don't think it was just a bad game, like 2-2, and then, yeah, they won on penalties.
How hard it see when you're playing in a game like that and you know that Rangers are getting the better and there's all these Celtic fans there? Is it a horrible feeling?
Yeah, it wasn't nice. It was just like, but it was still like thinking, you know, we'll play a bit, we'll create chances, we'll get through this game. But it was just the fact that, like, you know, it wasn't like you were thinking like we'd go in and really play well and like wipe the floor with them, because good players, a lot of good players, but it just didn't happen. And yeah, Rangers were up for it. And
Right, just the last bit on Celtic, mate. How excited are you when Brendan Rodgers got the job? Remember where you were when you heard?
Yeah, I was in Edinburgh again. Just
you love that Edinburgh, didn't you?
I do, a little bit posher for me.
Yeah.
It was just in Edinburgh, but at the end of that season, I was actually playing like a lot of the season with an ankle injury, and that was kind of got in Dundee away. I got a tackle in mind, just being like, and kind of carrying it through. But I had anyone needed an op at the end of that year, and I remember being like, so I had a boot on, had the op just before the end of the season, and Brendan Rodgers came in thinking, yeah, really good, like great track record, like amazing, like yeah, really being really excited, thinking pre-season, like but ended up coming the pre-season and I missed the whole pre-season, was still recovering from like the boys went away to, I can't remember, was it Austria or Slovenia or something, and yeah, I was back at Liechtenstein just doing rehab and I like missed the whole pre-season, so it was really, really frustrating. So
see, leaving, was it him that came to you or did you go to him?
Me going to him, like I had another year, but it was a year of the Invincibles, and so it was kind of like there wasn't that many times where I was knocking on his door because the team was doing so well, like flying, and missing the first pre-season and like going through, and then I did have little like chances here and there, but like you knew the kind of starting 11, it was unchanged, and for good reason, because they were flying like unbelievable. So, but just like I didn't want another year of just being like, oh, like you might get your chance, you might play in the odd game here. Like I needed to play. I was frustrated. Like I hate like sitting on the bench, or like it's like it was great being at Celtic, and it was like I really enjoyed his training. His training was amazing. Like you could tell, like he's top manager with like training would always change, and you know be. It was great. Like I loved it, but you ultimately wanted to be out. Yeah, for sure.
And Aberdeen, how much of a factor is Derek McInnes?
Yeah, big factor. I mean,
he's impressive when you speak to him, isn't he?
Yeah, he's great man manager. He's a great motivator. He's great. Like we speak 1-to-1, and like I say, motivating. Like with team talks and that, he was like always like great. And like as soon as I talked to him, I knew Aberdeen like were a big club playing against them. Like. And I didn't even realise how big the word was. Like one city, one club, but there's big pressure up playing for Aberdeen as well. But it was just kind of felt like, oh yeah, like he made me feel like, oh, like got the number 11 shirt. You're coming in to be my winger, and I was like, I knew he played with McGinn and Hayes and stuff. Like he liked playing with wingers, and it suited me down to the ground. So it was great. Because
he comes in for quite a bit of stick for Aberdeen's fan, doesn't he, Derek McInnes? But for me, he's done an unbelievable job.
Oh yeah, I don't quite understand that. I mean. Yeah, like every year, like players leave and he just builds a squad, and every year he's second or third or thereabouts, and it's unbelievable. And for long enough, it's only now they've got the training facilities that like crazy for a club like Aberdeen, and I think he's a big part of getting the boys up for it, getting the boys playing for him, and like recruiting good players and just getting them playing in a way that suits. And yeah, he's done unbelievable.
Does he join in training?
Yeah, he does.
Can play,
does the
he?
boxes. He's got a bit. He does. He's a good, great player. Aye.
What about over your time at Aberdeen? Favourite players that you played up there?
Favourite players in Aberdeen. Played with a lot of good players as well. Yeah, like McGinn came back. He's a great winger. Christie was there. Christie's great player. Just gone from strength to strength. It's amazing to see.
He's actually on fire right now, isn't he?
He's superb, but he was started at Aberdeen.
What kind of guy is he?
Oh, top guy.
I met him at Transmit actually. He was top man, but it was only for like 15 minutes.
Aye, no, he's really good.
Is he chirpy?
Guy. Chirpy, aye, he likes a laugh. He's a
Any
good
stories
guy.
about him at Aberdeen, how confident he was there?
Nah, he just self-belief in himself as well, like worked really hard and so much energy as well. But like technically really good, and it's great to see him do well. A lot of good young players at Aberdeen. Boy Scott Wright is brilliant winger. He's been unlucky with injuries, but he's on his day top player. And there's like, your Lewis Ferguson's, or Dean Campbell's, like Conor McLennan, even another young boy. And Dale's like great at like Lewis Ferguson, for instance, came in and like one of the first names on the team sheet, like big strong boy, but top player. He'll go on to do really well for sure.
I'm absolutely delighted when I asked you who the good players were. You never mentioned golf ball cheeks, Adam Rooney.
Jeez, one of the best finishers I've played with as well. He's just
he can drink, can't he?
Oh, he can drink. Yeah, it just doesn't affect him, man.
Nah.
It's just
see,
crazy.
Christmas dues at Swindon, mate. We just drink the full 2 days, eh? Wouldn't they get changed to anything and just sit in a pub and drink?
Yeah.
Loved it, man.
Yeah.
And by the way, I heard you're a madman on the drink. Dundee United Lineker's bar. Flip flops on.
That wasn't my finest. I cut my foot, pouring with blood in the dance floor. I was like, what am I doing? But then I was like wearing fucking Havanas and Linekers. And the time and a place for a night out is good.
And Adam Rooney asked us to ask you about the Celtic Park half-time, the referee story.
Celtic Park half-time referees? No, Rangers.
Rangers was it? He's got it wrong there.
Aye, Ibrox. Oh, that was Aberdeen. Aye. So we played Ibrox, like not playing well at all. 1-0 down, I think, only, or maybe 2-0 or 1-0 down. But I'd been through and I'd gone to shoot with my left foot, and Taverniers clipped my heel. And then I've kicked and the ball's gone straight, and for sure, like in my head, it's a penalty. But I didn't get it because it didn't look at me. I'd be so sure it was a penalty. I looked on highlights, it's so hard to see it, even in my head. I was like, was it a penalty? But I did get touched. But anyway, the ref didn't see it. in at half time, Derek McInnes going mental, Tony Doherty's going mental, and Derek McInnes like to me, and you, what did he say? Like get your finger or something. I was like, and I just like kind of was like, it was a fucking penalty ref. Like just like in my head, like Derek McInnes rolling my head. I'm like, I thought it was a fucking penalty ref. Called him ref right in front of the boys. And I was like, I mean gaffer, like straight away. Like it was like,
how did he take that well?
Nothing was said. Like the boys, there was a few like laughing. Like it wasn't until the bus home that everyone was pissing themselves. Like, hold on, yeah, ref the gaffer off there. That's fuck. Didn't even mean that. Ref, I mean gaffer.
Oh, brilliant, man. See, just on Rangers, how much did you enjoy the battles for second place? Was it the one at clinched it in Celtic Park at the final day? That must have been a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a really good day.
Logan was giving it all sorts, wasn't he? Is he a character?
He's a character. I love him. He's hilarious.
Here's a Shea Logan story, come on. Because he gets a bit of stick as well, doesn't he?
I don't know. He's just like one of them boys that like, before you're like, oh, like you play with him, like
I think he's a wee arsehole.
But you play with him, he's a hero, like he's funny, but he just doesn't help himself. Like a Celtic Park, like he's like up to the fans. You're like, even games, like I think we won that game, but games, you know, you might have done well, like or lost the game. You're getting the chance. She's like up to the fans, like all over it, like just, but great, like really consider, like great player off the park. Like
he was at Brentford.
He's a hero. But no, he's just, I don't know, stories one can't stick out.
How's Barry Robson up there?
Barry Robson, yeah, he's a coach. He
loves his cell, doesn't he?
Oh, he loves his cell.
Big time shouts.
He thinks he's got so much banter and that, and he's all right, but he's yeah, he loves himself, to be fair.
Did you enjoy it, Aberdeen?
Yeah, I did. Great changing room, great. Like that, just even stuff like going back to like, I got fined for the river thing at Aberdeen. The manager was not happy, but the way they like just shows to get the boys together. Like we had a Christmas do was coming up, and I got fined. Yeah, a week's wage or a month's wage, something, a week's wage maybe. But there's a youth team player that got fined as well. But the youth team player, I can't remember who it was. I think it was the goalkeeper, Dave Craddock, I think. Anyway, like his fine was like a tenner for like leaving a piece of clothing on the park or something. Anyway, had our like, so it was coming up to our Christmas dues, and the staff had a Christmas do as well, and the players. And turned out like both these fines, my fine and Dave's fine, like the youth team boys, and it was like bingo. It was like a ball. So it was like, right, Shinny, the club captain, had to pick out like whoever you pick out the ball for the boys' night out, and whoever's fine, that goes towards your kitty Christmas, and the other one's staff night out.
So it was like a tenner on a week's wages, right?
Tenner, and so it was Barry Robson, Graham Shinnie, like buzzing, because staff were buzzing as well, and like Barry Robson goes first and like buzzing, picks it out, and it's like a picture of Dave Craddock and a picture of KFC sticks it on. They're like fuming. Then like the one ball Shinnie picks up, and it's my face, and it's like Vegas. Like the boys are at Johnson. Little things like that, they're brilliant of just getting everyone together and like having a laugh, you know. So it was a close night, changing room up there, and it was cool.
Amazing. And New York City offered too good to turn down.
Yeah, well, the offer came in January and it didn't happen. And then them showing interest coming in the summer, I kind of thought, yes, having had a little chance to think about it, it was like, whoa, kind of it's an opportunity that I kind of want to experience and do. And no, loving it so far. It's really, really good. It's totally different, but, you know, amazing. Just trying to embrace it.
How's the infrastructure of the club? Because the connections with Man City there, isn't there?
Unbelievable.
Is
like
it?
Our training ground is... I mind doing my medical. I did my medical at Cities in Manchester before I went. So saw their training ground, and honestly, it's like a scaled down version, but it's still massive, and it's still like probably the best training ground I've trained at. And yeah, they just do things right. Obviously, they've got like great players. We have players from kind of everywhere, but it's a good standard, especially in our team. And no, it's good so far. So far, loving it.
I'm obsessed with American commentators, man. Have you listened to it? Have they said Gary Mack with the twinkle toes?
Lord.
He sent that defensive fullback for a root beer.
Hasn't it, didn't they? That Sky game there, and I was thinking like there was like Lewis Ferguson, there was a shout for a penalty at one point. I was like, oh, it's a PK. Like, I'm going to start using them, mate. I need to like tone it down because they are so out there with like, oh, the offense and like it's ridiculous.
Last question, going forward, Johnny Russell gets in the Scotland team playing over there. Are you still looking to get in the Scotland team?
Yeah, I still have ambitions. So certainly, like, not turn like, yeah, I'd love to be back involved. And yeah, I think it's just the case. It's great. He's done so well over in the States and comes over and we've got a lot of good players in and around the Scotland team, and there's good things happening, big games coming up, and certainly I've hit the ground running. Obviously, yeah, you never know, just see what happens. But if you fit and playing as well and playing as good, yeah, there's no reason for sure. So just see what happens.
Guys, what an interview. Thanks, mate.
Top man.
Cheers.
Thank you.